Kia ora koutou katoa, no mai hara mai ki te ao Hākinakina, your sports show right here on your Tribal Pulse, te kore mako o Taranaki 94.8 FM and 94.8 FM and 98.4 FM. Well, she's a former Tall Fern whose love for basketball took her across the globe, including a stint in U.S. College Basketball. Now home doing what she loves, helping uplift Māori and Pasifika communities. She is the founder of the movement NZ and a holistic wellbeing advocate and the driver behind Matatoa, a Kaupapa Māori CrossFit competition. No mai, hara mai Matangiroa Flavell, kia ora.
Kia ora, tēnā koutou.
Bit of an intro there, eh? Bit of an
intro, I'm impressed.
Awesome to have you on the show, Matangiroa, on a beautiful, beautiful sunny day today. Just before we get started, ko wai koe, no he koe, just a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
Ai, kia ora tātou, ko Matangiroa Flavell tōku ingoa, he uri tēnei no Taranaki iwi, he uri anō hoki no Ngāti Rangi Wewahi. I tupu aki roto te aroa, I roto mai o Rotorua, I uru atu ki te kohanga reo, ki te kura kaupapa, I nānei e noho ana ki kirikiri roa. So currently living in Hamilton at the moment, but yeah, raised in Rotorua.
Awesome, awesome. Oh, it's lovely to make those connections back here to Taranaki as well. So just for you, Matangiroa, as a young kōtero, obviously you're involved with active sports today, but were you always active and in sports as a young kōtero?
Yeah, I was pretty lucky. My parents put me into anything and everything. Done quite a few sports, but even got into piano and ballet, all that kind of stuff, I think, just to keep me busy. So I was a busy kid, but definitely dabbled in a few sports, netball, basketball, a little bit of touch, swimming, competitive swimming, but ended up following through with basketball. I guess as you get older, you have to choose your sport and allocate your time wisely. So yeah, ended up taking up basketball full time.
Awesome, awesome. Now, speaking of basketball, you lived and played in the US for a little while. How did that experience shape your perspective on fitness, culture, and identity, for when you return home?
Yeah. Oh, patai pai. That was a bit of a pivotal moment, I guess, looking back, because going over, I just turned 18. Shockingly, my parents sent me over and allowed me to go over to America, lived there for 3 years. Great experience, but it was very, very tough. I'm not going to say it was easy and it was all glamorous. So definitely learned a lot about myself, but also learned about how important it is to be Māori and to be proud of that. And I guess growing up in Te Reo, being fortunate enough to have Te Reo as my first language, and then leaving the country and not having anyone over there, not having whānau, not having anyone to speak Te Reo to, I think that kind of worked something up inside me and made me realize, man, I just miss home. I love who I am. I love my culture, and I just really, really miss it. And that, yeah, played a big role in making me want to come home and do something for my people. So yeah, being in America was great. It taught me a lot, just in terms of what I wanted and where I want to be. But of course, I was still young, so it's just learning how to be away from home, be away from whānau. So yeah, a lot of lessons there, a lot of lessons going over to America for sure. And I'm grateful for that experience, even though it was a hard one.
Awesome. I'm sure there would have been plenty of learnings, and I can so totally resonate with that. Sometimes when you're away from home, it makes you really miss, what you're missing out on. So that's really, really awesome. So what inspired you? So you went from basketball and you've helped create the movement NZ. So what inspired you to create the movement NZ, and how does your whakapapa influence the kaupapa of the gym?
Yeah. Luckily, it wasn't just me. So it was both my sister and I, Media, who's the founder of Haere Collection now. When I came home from America, didn't really have any plans, to be honest. So fitness has always been a big thing, obviously being involved in sport. But when I moved home, both my sister and I started our own fitness journey. And what we found at the time, this was 6 years ago now, there wasn't really a space for Māori. And when we were stepping into fitness studios and gyms, we didn't really feel comfortable being in those spaces. It didn't feel like ours. We didn't really feel like we could kind of be a part of that community. And so my sister, being my sister, very ambitious, she just said, why don't we build our own space and build it for our people? And it wasn't as easy as that. It took a while for us to get to where we are today, but a massive influence has been our dad. And he always asked the question of, what's your point of difference for a gym? Because it's easy enough to build a gym, find a space, put some gear in there, that's fine. But how are you going to separate yourselves from every other gym? And so again, being raised in Te Ao Māori, his main thing was, his main question to us as his tamaraki, he said, what's your gift back to your people? And I guess for us, we use this gym as a gift back to our people and providing a space for our people to build up their haora, focus on their whare tapa whā. So I guess in regards to your pātai, how does whakapapa, help what we're doing now? I mean, dad being involved in this, and then there's my brother, obviously my mum as well. Everyone's involved in this kaupapa, but then you bring in every other Māori that's coming into the gym, and then the whakapapa from their whānau, and making the connections. It's huge. So it's taken us about 5 years to figure that out. It hasn't been easy. But that's honestly our point of difference as being Māori and being catered to our people, a whare for our whānau.
Wow, that's awesome. I love that point of difference. What an awesome kaupapa. And you mentioned in there te whare tapa whā. So how do you weave te whare tapa whā into your gym programming, and what impact have you seen in your community because of it?
Yeah, so initially we started using te whare tapa whā as a model for our 8-week challenges. And to be honest, I shouldn't be saying this as a gym owner, but I haven't really been a massive fan of 8-week challenges, because what you typically see is people go hard for 8 weeks, or some 4 weeks, and then they drop off. But what you typically see is that people will go hard for 8 weeks and then they fall off the wagon straight after, and they go back into those old habits. So we tried to incorporate te whare tapa whā, or we are incorporating te whare tapa whā, because what we want to do is actually build consistent habits, and it's actually building a lifestyle rather than just an 8-week block within your life, and then you go back to what you typically do. And so te whare tapa whā allows us to build habits to then create this lifestyle that you can continue to live on after that 8-week stint. So we use the 8 weeks to pretty much teach the principles of te whare tapa whā, teach people about each pillar of te whare tapa whā and how important it is. And so we give them tasks throughout the 8 weeks around tahinengaro, wairua, whānau, and tinana. And so what we're trying pretty much doing is just checking in on them, making sure that they're staying on top of their tasks. And I think the outcome is huge, because the focus isn't necessarily about weight loss. That's typically a bonus, and that's what we try and tell our whānau. Weight loss should be a bonus, but improving your lifestyle, your well-being, that's the goal, because it's not just you, it's actually you and your whānau that we're trying to help through using the tool of te whare tapa whā. So yeah, it's not an easy job, and we're not perfect in how we deliver it, but it's every time we're learning. But we definitely stand by that, and we stand by te whare tapa whā and how important it is for our whānau.
Wow, well, love that, te whare tapa whā playing its part in the kaupapa like the gym. That's really, really awesome. Well, whānau, we're having an awesome kōrero here. Make sure to stay tuned. We're going to go to a quick break now, and we'll be back shortly to speak with Matangiroa. No mai hara mai ki te ao Hākinakina. Welcome back to te ao Hākinakina whānau, your sports show here on Te Kore Mako. Now, we have Matangiroa on the show with us, and we're having a really cool kōrero about her amazing kaupapa, her and her whānau, and the awesome stuff they're doing within the sporting space and activity space. Now, Matatoa. Tell us a little bit about Matatoa. It's such a powerful concept. How did the idea come about, and what does success look like for you in this space?
Yeah, well, I can't take all the credit for Matatoa because I've recently just taken it on with my brother. But Matatoa was created by three brothers, the Kaupapa brothers. And so for the last 3 years, they started it. They've ran it over the 3 years, and they've built such a massive kaupapa that is huge now. And because all of them are super busy with all of their different kaupapa going on, they were going to put the kaupapa to rest. And so they're really tight with my brother. And my brother said, hey, you can't, no, our people need this kaupapa. So why don't you give it to someone else to run it? And so he pretty much volunteered his sister, which is me, to take on the kaupapa. And yeah, pretty much had no choice. But at the end of the day, I was honored to take on this kaupapa. And so basically Matatoa is a CrossFit competition, which is catered to Māori, but catered to all. It's built upon all principles of Te Ao Māori, but it's basically bridging the gap between those who grew up in Te Ao Māori, first language, kura kaupapa kids, but are still learning about hauora, getting into gyms, getting into fitness. And then you've got also the other group who are fitness fanatics who have been going hard in CrossFit but didn't necessarily grow up in Te Ao Māori, but who are Māori. So it's kind of bridging the two gaps and or bridging that gap and bringing everyone together to share pretty much everything that we love about CrossFit and also Te Ao Māori. So you can see that CrossFit is taking off at the moment, but it's definitely an event for our people to enjoy and come together for an awesome kaupapa that's, you know, I guess not a tangihanga, that's not a hui at a marae, that's not kapahaka as well. It's just something that's such a cool kaupapa to get our people moving, get our people going. So yeah, it's a huge kaupapa that we're taking on.
What an awesome kaupapa and concept that you've set up there, and volunteered or voluntold. So
voluntold, yeah, exactly, voluntold, yeah.
It's awesome. What are some of the challenges and opportunities in bringing together, you know, real Māori learners and fitness enthusiasts, you know, through kaupapa like Matatoa?
There's quite a bit to this kaupapa because I guess when we took it on, when my brother and I took it on, you know, it's easy enough to say you're a Kaupapa Māori kaupapa or Kaupapa Māori CrossFit comp, but what does that actually mean? And how are we going to put things in place to make sure that it is a Kaupapa Māori CrossFit comp? And so for us, we've decided to add a different, not a different, but another layer to this kaupapa and really enhance it by kind of treating it like te matatini in a way. So what we want to do is eventually take the kaupapa around each rohe and tell the stories of that rohe through each workout that we do in the CrossFit comp. And so it's definitely not an easy task because there's a lot of research that goes into it, making sure that we are getting the stories right, making sure that we consult the right people, and also make sure, the other thing is, we don't want to scare people away in terms of non-Māori. We don't want to scare them away. We actually want them to join us and actually learn about our culture, learn about our hitori within each rohe. And so that's what we're doing at the moment. We're about 10 weeks out now from Matatoa. And yeah, we're currently doing a lot of mahi behind the scenes to make sure that we do get the kōrero right, that we're doing everything right, and we're still staying under that, the whakaaro Māori in terms of what we're trying to do. And still involve everyone. Like I said, not just Māori, but still involve everyone to make sure that everyone enjoys this entire experience. And so, yeah, again, big task, but definitely worth it for us because it's definitely needed for our people.
Oh, I look forward to seeing it down here in Taranaki. I'm sure the whānau down here would love to see that down here at some stage. So looking forward to that.
We're planning on it. We're planning on it.
Yeah, mean. So As a wahine Māori leader in both sports and in the hauora space, what advice would you give to rangatahi who you know kind of want to walk on a similar path?
Oh man. Well, I mean, I'm kind of dabbling in a bit of everything at the moment, so I don't really know what points to touch on. But I guess when it comes to sport, I'll touch on sport. Sports can take you everywhere. You can see it now, and times are different now to when I was playing in the Tall Ferns and playing at college. But the opportunities are there, and my opportunity that I took definitely, like I said, was a pivotal moment in my life. And so for young wahine Māori who are wanting to go and experience sports and playing overseas, or he harane playing professionally, the opportunities are there. Just got to go out and find them, find the right people, put yourselves in a position where you can be seen and can be heard, and also just work your backside off to get there, because you're not getting any younger. So really take the opportunities while they're still there. But I can guarantee that there's going to be heaps of opportunities coming as the years go by.
Oh, love it. Love it. There you go. Ko te ro mā. Make sure you follow your dreams and passions, your aspirations, and go and venture out and see the world. Now, lastly, looking ahead, what are your dreams for the movement NZ and for Māori representation in the fitness world?
Straight off the bat, my biggest goal for the movement is to share it with the entire country, if not the entire world. We want a franchise, and we want to make sure that we can offer this, what we're doing in Kirikiriroa, offer it everywhere, and make sure that all Māori can access a space like ours. But we're not the only ones doing it. There are a lot of other spaces out there that are doing similar things. But I think for us, it's because we're built upon Māori principles and Māori values, we're really trying to cater to our people, but also bring in everyone else who wants to come in and learn, not just about health and fitness, but also about te ao Māori. So our end game is to build as many of these as possible. So if anyone out there who's interested in coming on board and being a part of the movement and building your own in your own rohe, please get in touch, because that's what we want to do. That's what we want to do. And then the plus side to that as well is also creating jobs for our own people, job opportunities. So yeah, we're only just getting started. It's whānau, we're only just getting started. We're only 5 years old, and I've only taken it on over the last 2 years. So you know, I'm still learning how to steer the ship in some way, but that's what we're trying to do.
Well, Matangiroa, thank you so much for your time coming on the show. Wow, I'm just blown away. What an inspiration, the awesome mahi that you and your whānau are doing within that health and physical education space, and, you know, having a huge impact on so many lives. I'm sure you are, and keep up the amazing mahi that you're doing, and really look forward to you coming back to your maunga and bringing your amazing kaupapa down here when the time's right.
Yes, when the time's right. It will happen. It will happen. Engari, ngā mihi nui ka koutou. Thank you.
Ngā mihi nui ki a koe.